Hey everybody. So, I've been doing some thinking, and I want to see what your guys' opinion on this is and see if you agree with me. So, perspective matters a lot whenever you're telling a story or you're going into a new situation. And what your past history is in life has a lot to do with how you see things in the future. I feel like it's pretty obvious. So, for an example, so if I take my friend to go watch a movie, right? And in this movie, there is a guy who's holding the hand of a little kid, and they're walking around a park, and he takes them to get ice cream, corn dog, watching other people walk by, and they're just kind of walking together and everything, and it seems nice, but that's the whole movie, right? It's only like, a short ass fucking 10, 20-minute video, whatever, right? At that point, if you would just go watch that movie, you'd be like, oh man, it's just his dad and his son. Well, he's taking them out, walking around, and that's pretty nice. Like I wish more dads would do something like that for their kids, be more of a part of their life, right? Now, what if I told you that's actually not his dad? It's just some complete stranger who found this random kid and who's just taking him around the park like that. It would change your whole fucking perspective of the movie, right? Like, it'd be, holy crap, like, what's going on, right? And it's just this dude walking around with a kid. Now, what if I told you no one actually told me that was a stranger? I'm just assuming that it is because of my past history. I've seen that shit happen a lot, and I don't think the guy looks a lot like the kid, so that's probably what's going on. So instead of telling you I think this is what's going on, I just say, hey, before you get into this movie, I just want you to know, this is a complete stranger. Now, when you go watch the movie, that's going to be on your mind from the get-go, okay? And you're going to be completely like, holy shit, what's going on? This is ridiculous. Where are the parents? Okay? Now, keep in mind, this is also how a lot of times when you're teaching your kids conversations and topics that you think they need to know, past history will greatly color how you tell the story. Even if you believe you are right, a lot of times you could be wrong just because of things that you went through. You told it in a way that has now corrupted the message. So if you go, for instance, as a mom, you've had a lot of trauma and bad history, and bad things have happened to you with other guys you've been with, all right? And you can even say that now you're in a great relationship. You have a daughter, right? You're with a good husband. Everything's great now. But when you talk about men in general, and you're like, all men want is this, all they want is sex. Most men are just out to get you. They'll try to manipulate you and everything. And eventually, one day you might find the right guy like I did. Well, immediately from the get-go, they're going to be thinking, oh shit, like I gotta really be on guard and be defensive around guys. And so from the very beginning, they're not going to try to develop a healthy relationship with a guy, or at least be fully open with one in a way they normally would, simply because of the story that you told them. And like I said, I understand that women have to be more defensive. They have to be more on guard with men in general. That is true when it comes to certain situations. But you have to understand, in most situations which there's danger and propensity for violence and everything, men will be the ones who protect you from that. As well as men are probably going to be the one, on rare cases, who are the ones who are the perpetrators. Because we understand the ones who are the most violent are men, and the ones who are the, least violent are going to be or at least the ones who will defend you in situations are going to be the men. First ones who jump up to help. And so you got to understand that it's a very small group of people who are bad. There are people in general who are just criminals. There's bad women and bad men. But when you grow up, you tell all women that men in general are people who are bad and you have to defend yourself. Then what ends up happening is they grow their whole life thinking that and believing that. And so they never open up to the possibility of a good relationship because they just know that the man is bad, and they know that if they ever pass a certain point in their emotions or whatever, then they end up they're going to get hurt or it's going to end bad. But if you were just to keep in mind as a solution or as an alternative, if you were just to instead say, hey, it's not men that are bad, it's all people. There is some out there that will be bad to you, men or women. And you have to look for the signs in those people, you know, the red flags and stuff to be able to tell if these people are bad or good. And everyone shows signs. Body language is a big thing. The way you talk, the way that things that you say that you do or say that you don't, that you know your actions speak differently, stuff like that. There's plenty of things that are tall tale signs that are going to end up kind of giving you the whole feeling for a person. And you have to be able to, when you see those, when you feel those, don't act as if they don't exist, or if don't. It's the worst case scenario that I see all the time is people say, oh, I saw this red flag, but maybe it's the only one. Or maybe this is a one-time thing and it won't happen again. And they're willing to get in deeper into a situation that they may not be comfortable with because they've let all of those red flags slide over and over again to the point now they're too far gone. Too much investment. So, I don't know. I guess that's just my general take at the moment. I just feel like maybe talk about it, was just thinking about it, that the messaging on how we deal with people in general when we're raising our kids need to be changed to a general conversation. And then when they grow up, you can, like I said, when they get older, to understand nuance, just you can then slip in other details, you know, things that would be unique to certain situations. Like, yeah, so I don't know. I'll have probably more on the topic later. I just wanted to talk in general and, you know, just spiel a little bit. So, all right, see you guys.